My boyfriend said that I don't have a bikini body, so I took my top off in front of all of his friends. So we were on the beach with his group of friends and about 15 guys were there. That is why what he said was even more hurtful and embarrassing. When we got to the beach, I am that person that immediately has to go into the water, but I was the only one, so I went alone and my boyfriend and all of his friends just stayed talking on the towels. So about like 15 minutes after, I get out of the water and I'm walking towards where my boyfriend and his friends all are. I noticed that my boyfriend was like looking at me, staring at me whilst I was walking with a smirk on his face. I thought he was about to say something sweet, but no. As soon as I come closer to them, my boyfriend says very loudly and in front of everyone, "You should wear a one piece because you don't really have a bikini body." If he was trying to be funny, like, it didn't work because everybody just was awkward. None of them laughed, obviously, because, like, why would you laugh at that? Nobody said a word, and for, like, 10 seconds, I just stared at my boyfriend in disbelief and thinking about what I was gonna do. There's no way that he's gonna embarrass me in front of all of his friends, and I'm not gonna humiliate him back. So I pulled off the top part of my bikini, and I stood there in front of all of his friends, and I said, "Well, now it's a one piece." He immediately got up screaming and stood in front of me to try and cover me up. He started screaming, saying, "Are you crazy? Put something on immediately." I then also very loudly said, "I don't even know why you bother wearing shorts since it's so small, no one would even notice it." No one said a word too, and for the rest of the day, I just lay down tanning with my now one piece.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys why you're not crazy for not wanting your man to follow random Insta girls, coming from an Instagram girl herself. Look at how big this water bottle is. I love her. I've grown my Instagram account in the last 2 years, and when I tell you I've seen it all and I've heard it all, so many men lack so much respect towards their relationship and they use Instagram as an outlet to do that. It does not matter if that man is posting you, they will still find a way to DM bitches. Anyways, I remember I had a guy who had just gotten married, and he was in my DMs later that night. I ended up DMing this guy back. I didn't even follow him. It's from what I had seen on his account. And I'm here like, "Sir, I am going to tell your wife how fucking disrespectful you are." What does he do? He blocks me. Not only does he block me, but he ends up blocking me on his wife's account before I could get to her. I love how men go out of their way to do the fucking most when they could just simply be loyal to the person that they're with. I also don't like hyping up like those social media couples that are very well known, because those guys DM in vanish mode. I just find it incredibly disrespectful towards the person that you're with to be fawning over these random women online, liking girls' stories, liking girls' posts, DMing them on top of all of that, all while you have a girl. And I know this is gonna piss a lot of guys off. And the problem is, guys that do that cannot take accountability. They blame women like me for posting bikini photos, but at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass woman and I could do whatever the fuck I want. What you guys should be doing is respecting the relationship that you're in and the girl that you're with. You guys, all my makeup fell in my sink. To the girls, you are not insecure. You're not crazy for wanting that boundary implemented into your relationship. And this is by no means an attack on men. There's a lot of great men out there. And this post also doesn't apply to you if you're single. If you want to shoot your shot with the whole world while you're single, knock yourself out. Please respect your girlfriends and your wives, because I do snitch. Mwah. Bye.
Get ready with me. Get ready with me while I tell y'all how I went on a date with this guy and he didn't bring no money. All I can do at this point is laugh at myself, because why? I don't know why I go on dates anymore. I don't know why. But this happened a while ago. This was like 6 months ago. And I went on a date with this man and he literally did not bring any money. So I had to pay for everything. And it just gets so bad. Just hang on. Let me tell you. And it's always the ones you don't want to go on a date with. I would also like to state. So this dude asked me out on a date. I didn't want to go because it really was giving like, do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result is insanity. It was that. He was my type to a T, dreadhead, Chipotle bag, tall, big body bins, like man, right? So I just was like, I've seen this movie and I know the ending. What inspired me to give him an opportunity? But I did. I'm laughing at myself. So he's like, let's go on a date. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So he picks me up in a Mercedes Benz. That is a very key point to this conversation. So he picks me up in the Benz, and we go out to eat, and I want to say it was during the day, so we decided to like hit this brunch spot. So on the way, I was like, I really like your car, like it's a really nice car. It was like an older Mercedes GLE, I want to say, and I want to get one of those soon. So I was telling him like, hey, I really like your car, and he was like, oh, thanks. Then he proceeds to stunt on me and tell me that this was not the first car he had. He had two cars. He had a Mercedes Benz, and he also had a Mustang, and that both of them were paid off. And honestly, I don't remember asking, but he decided to tell me that both cars were paid off, and he really liked his Mustang, but he really mainly drove like the Mercedes around, right? So anyway, whoop-de-doo, I'm like, cool, you have two cars. I love that for you. Go off, king. So we get to the brunch spot, and like it's brunch, you guys. And I also do not drink alcohol. I would like to say, so I'm not like downing mimosa after mimosa. I don't drink alcohol. So as far as I'm concerned, I drink water and I get like a plate. Like I'm not an expensive date in any way, shape, or form. We're having a good time. It's decent conversation. He used to be a football player, so I feel like, you know, a lot of them just get hit in the head too many times, and there's like not a lot going on up there. I'm proof in the pudding, and I will die on this hill. Like, I think the finest men sometimes are just stupid, and I hate to say that, but that's just the truth. And so it was cool. Like, it was nothing to write home about, but it wasn't bad, I would say. So anyway, so the bill comes, and I want to say it was maybe $45. And honestly, it was only $45 because he got orange juice, and it was freshly squeezed, and he got like multiple of them, and so you have to pay like $5 per juice. So he really racked up a tab with some orange juice. He proceeds to tell me when the bill comes, he says, hey. I'm like, what's up? Gave me no inclination, like, y'all, he didn't tell me before we ordered or anything that he did not have money. He didn't tell me anything. So thank God I got it. Yeah, big dog over here. I got it. I'm like, what's up? He goes, so this is the line he used. Wait for it. He says, and I quote, my bank shut down, my card is frozen due to fraud. So I can't use my cards right now because my bank thinks I had fraud, so my card is locked and it won't be unlocked till Monday. And it was Saturday. And he was like, the banks don't open on the weekends, so I don't have any money until Monday. Okay, so my number one question, when did you figure this out? When did you figure out that your card was locked? And if you figured it out before you picked me up and took me on the date, why would you pick me up? Literally just cancel. Hey, my card's frozen. Or like ask me like beforehand, hey, you know, my card's frozen until Monday. If you still want to go, that's cool, but like you're gonna have to pay. Y'all didn't tell me anything. Didn't tell me anything until oops, time to pay. We already ate. Buddy's full. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, I am a people pleaser, and I just don't like to have confrontation. Like, I just don't. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll pay. So I pay the $45, and then we leave. But it doesn't end there. At this point, I'm like, yeah, take me home. It was fun. But honestly, like, you look like 300 other people that I've seen. You're just as cute as the next one. And, like, you didn't pay. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. That's just, it's a $40 date. Like, I didn't ask him to take me anywhere fancy. I didn't even ask him to go on the date. He asked me and then makes me pay. So we're on our way home. This man's car runs out of gas. So we're on the way home, and his beautiful little Mercedes Benz, that was probably a freaking rental, to be quite honest at this point, runs out of gas. So he looks at me, and I look at him like, what you want me to do about it? He says, hey, I'm not going to make it all the way back to your house. Can we stop at the gas station, and can you put some gas in my car? So at this point, I either put gas in the car or I walk home. Those are my two options. So we go to the gas station. I put gas in his car. I think I put like 20 bucks in because I'm like, I need to make sure that I get home so I never see this man again. So I put 20 bucks in his tank for gas. And then he takes me home, drops me off. And he's like, hey, do you want to hang out again? Absolutely not. He then proceeded to text me for a week. And my red receipts are on. Left him on red. I don't even know if I left him on red. I more so said I wasn't interested. Like, I don't like ghosting people. I don't believe in that. I'm more like, just tell them it's not going to work out and then move on. But the issue with that is men don't like to hear the word no. So proceeded to text me for a week. And I just eventually stopped responding because what are we doing? Like, you took me out on a date and I ended up paying for the date and filling your car up with gas. And then you want to go out again. Sir, as far as I'm concerned, you have an open tab and you owe me money. So until that tab is paid, no, you're cut off. We cannot go on another date. No.
Before I say anything else, I just want to say that I think that we have gotten so far away from positivity in the beauty community, like actually talking about beauty and makeup and feeling good and feeling empowered and like talking about the positive side of beauty. And we have gotten into overconsumption. We have gotten into being dishonest and not really caring about the people on the other side of the phone. My goal in my life, or at least in this small amount of time that I'm allowed to be a beauty creator, which I'm assuming will not last forever, is to change the industry and like try to leave a lasting impression on it, because it has gotten really far away from the original plot. Hello besties, my name is Shelby and my platform has almost 2 million followers. We are very, very close to 2 million, which is terrifying and exciting at the same time. And I thought this would be a good time to introduce myself and tell you where we started and how we got here. Because I feel like a lot of times you see the huge number underneath my name and you're probably like, wow, just another beauty influencer. And to some, that very well may be the case. But in my opinion, I'm trying to do things differently and leave a different impression and try to change things for the better than the way I found them. And yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about how we got here. Okay, so for those of you that are new here, my name is Shelby, also known as Shelby Ann. Ann is actually my middle name, but I made my username Shelby Ann when I started my account. It's actually my full government name, Shelby Ann Bell, which I think is the most southern name of all time. I used to actually not like the middle name Ann as a child, but it's actually my grandmother's middle name, and she passed away when I was in 9th grade. And I was like, wow, I really love having that piece of her with me all the time. We called her Nanny, but she wasn't our nanny, she was my grandmother. I grew up right next door to her and I spent a lot of time with her. She was a cosmetologist, but she also was a paraprofessional and she drove a school bus for special needs and disabled children. And Nanny was always doing my hair, doing my makeup for things. Like, I used to do pageants when I was a baby and she would always do my hair for all of my pageants. Well, when I had hair, but for a while I didn't have any. This is her and I, this is me, like I'm in my little pageant dress. See, I have like no hair at all. So she didn't really style it much until I got older and I actually started to grow hair, but that's my girl, that's my Nanny. She was a beautiful Native American woman and she had the prettiest complexion, the most beautiful head of hair, and there I am, the whitest baby on the planet. I was born on December 9th, 1997. That makes me 28 years old and a Sagittarius. I'm a fire sign. And I was born in a really teeny tiny small town that I grew up in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina. We didn't even live in the town. Like, we lived 15 minutes outside of the town, literally in the middle of nowhere. No grocery store, no gas station, nothing until you got into the town where I went to high school, to elementary school, middle school, and high school, all in the same place. And I grew up with the same people for literally my entire life. In high school, my graduating class was around 52 people. I think that's the exact number. Like, in total, I think we had 300 kids in my high school. It was so tiny. Everybody knows everybody. As a middle schooler, high schooler, I was always obsessed with like the Disney Channel and YouTubers. Just always knew that I wanted to be somebody and do something special, like with my life. Like, I knew that I wanted to have some sort of platform and I wanted to have resources because I knew I wanted to do something positive and make a difference, because I grew up in such a rural area where we didn't have lots of resources, and to be frank, we were pretty poor. I knew that I always wanted to do something so that I would have the opportunity to give back and like make a difference. This is baby Shelby on her, I think this is my 13th birthday, 13th or 14th birthday at the roller skating rink. And I wish so badly that I could go back and tell her what we're doing now at 28 years old. Like, I truly don't think that she would believe me, but also this is like her wildest dream. This was like all I ever wanted to do. I loved beauty and I loved just like being in front of the camera. Like, I loved to like record myself performing. I used to love to play the piano and to sing and to act. I was part of like a little acting group in middle school too, which was a lot of fun. I actually never knew how I could make that kind of thing happen. Like, I just wanted it so badly, but I didn't know how I would get to the point where I had the resource or the visibility. And in high school, I found YouTube, and that was just like a light bulb went off. I was like, wait, this is so cool. I didn't even realize, I wasn't even into makeup really until I found beauty YouTube. Like, that's what sparked the interest in me. I loved beauty YouTubers. I would come home from high school and I would watch beauty YouTubers all evening and on the weekends, and like, I love that. I would make my little beauty YouTube videos, and a lot of them are still on my YouTube channel. You can still watch them. Most of them are later though. They're like when I'm in college, but I loved making YouTube videos. I loved to like, I filmed little Snapchat hauls anytime I would go to the drugstore and buy makeup. I honestly didn't even know that Sephora and Ulta existed until probably my senior year of high school. Graduated high school in 2016, which I feel like was like the peak of makeup YouTube, and was like, you know, 2016 was that year. I graduated high school and started college in 2016. I just feel like I like had the peak 2016 experience, but that's when I really started getting into makeup, was my senior year of high school. I would watch the beauty YouTubers and I would buy the stuff, which I didn't have much money. I worked a part-time job at Starbucks like while I was in high school, and with the money that I would get from that job, I would go buy like drugstore and like super affordable makeup because I could not afford the high-end stuff, obviously. In my senior year of high school, this is my senior prom. This is my boyfriend, Jarrett. We're still together. I love him, and getting engaged soon, which I'm very excited about. But anyway, this is us, and I did my makeup for prom here, and very obviously, but I just thought I was like eating down. Like, I thought, wow, I'm such a makeup artist. Like, I definitely could be a beauty guru on YouTube. I went to college 30 minutes away from my teeny tiny hometown to another pretty small town, but definitely like bigger than the one that I grew up in. I wanted to be an elementary school teacher, and I actually did do it for a little while, but I quickly decided that it's not the job that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. But I went to college for elementary education, and while I was in college, I still worked my Starbucks job for a few years, but eventually I got a job interview at a local department store where they had a makeup counter, and I interviewed for a job at the Clinique makeup counter, and I got the job, and I was so stinking excited because I felt like this was like my foot in the door to become a real makeup artist. Like, I felt like I was gonna get the education and the opportunity to like, you know, put makeup on people and like get clients, and I really didn't have that opportunity. But I did do a lot of the girls at my school. Like, in my college, I did a lot of the sorority girls makeup for events and stuff. But I was like, this is the way that I like get into weddings and like actually making money in the beauty industry. This is me at my Clinique counter job. This is like our Christmas display, and I have my little orange hat on and my little orange apron for Clinique Happy Fragrance. This is another picture of me at my Clinique counter job. I loved this job so much. I would go in a full glam every single day. In 2020, I was a senior in college, and that is when I started my internship, and that's when I also had to quit my Clinique counter job to teach full-time, essentially without getting paid. And during my internship, yeah, basically they told me I couldn't have a job and I needed to quit so that I could work full-time on my degree. And so I quit my job, and a couple months later, as everybody knows, COVID happened and the schools shut down and we literally went into lockdown. Graduated college, and we did not have a college graduation. And then I got offered a job to teach at the elementary school where I did my internship, which also happened to be the elementary school that I went to school at as a child. That was like back in my hometown. I took the job even though I literally felt like I had no idea what I was doing. And I taught for one full school year from 2020 to 2021, and it was probably one of the worst years of my life. Like, I hated that job so much. I loved my students. I absolutely loved my kids, but I just hated the experience of teaching and COVID on top of that. And I told myself that I could quit that job if I booked 30 weddings. And mind you, the entire time I was in college and the entire time I was teaching, I was doing makeup also. Like, I was doing makeup for brides and makeup for weddings. That was like the only way I was keeping myself afloat during my internship, because I had to quit my Clinique job in order to do my internship full time. So I had to do something on the weekends to make money. I told myself if I booked 30 weddings for 2021, then I would let myself quit my job and go back to school for my aesthetics license. And I booked 33 weddings. I told them I would not be coming back. I took all the money that I made from my first year of teaching and I paid to put myself through aesthetics school. And I got my aesthetics license in November of 2021. So my dream was just to freelance. After I got my aesthetics license, I had no plans on going to work for anybody else, but I got a really cool job offer while I was in school to work at a med spa, but the spa had not opened yet. So basically I was going to help them build the spa from the ground up, and I was going to go back to school again for my medical aesthetics license and to get my laser license and to do all of that schooling. So I graduated in November. In January, I was right back in school again. And at the same time, doing makeup full time, like still doing my brides on the weekends. And I was also working a full-time 40-hour job, working at the med spa. So I think I've always been that way. Like I know when I was in college and I was working as the barista at Starbucks, and then I also had my clinic counter job. I also was a waitress too. There were like weekends when I would work all 3 jobs. Like I would work my Starbucks job on a Friday, and then Saturday I would work a double at the restaurant, and then on Sunday I would work at my makeup counter job. Like I was working. I always knew that I wanted to be something. I wanted to do something with my life, and I knew that I needed to work hard in order to get there. So after I graduate with my medical aesthetics license, I immediately go straight to work at the med spa, and I did that for about 2 years. I just quit, so that would have been, I graduated in early 2022, and then I worked there for 3 years, and then I quit in the summer of 2025. So up until 9 months ago, I was working there full time. On top of being a professional makeup artist, and last year, by the way, I had 63 weddings. I worked my butt off last year. I was working so hard because I knew that like I wanted this to be a big thing. Like I knew that I wanted this to be my full-time job. This was always the dream, like to be a full-time content creator and make makeup videos and like make a difference and try to make an impact. That was always the dream. That was always the goal. But I didn't know that that was actually a possibility. So I just feel like I kind of fell into it, but at the same time, I worked for it. I did put a lot of effort into it. Quit my full-time job as a medical esthetician in June, and on July 3rd, I hit 1 million followers here on TikTok. Now, April 1st, and we are very, very close to hitting 2 million, which feels like the most insane thing to have ever come out of my mouth. Like I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. What do you mean there are 2 million of you? What do you mean there are 2 million people that watch my content and like enjoy me enough to follow me? Like what do you mean? I don't know how I got that lucky. Like I'm so grateful and so blessed. But now that we're here, I know that I have a job to do, and I know that I was given this opportunity for a reason. Like I know there's a purpose, and it is not just for me like selfishly to get all the free stuff and like go on the cool trips. Like no, I know that I'm here to make a difference and leave this industry, this platform, like whatever it is that I get to make the impact on better than the way that I found it. And I just want to make sure that like whatever opportunities I get, you guys also get to reap the benefits of that. Like I want to make sure that there's so many opportunities for me to do things to give back to you, because without this platform and without this opportunity, I wouldn't have you. And I feel like that was something that I wish I would have seen more of when I was that high school girl watching all the YouTubers back in the day. I would have loved to see more of just like the regular girl or the regular consumer like involved in like the really cool, insane opportunities that beauty influencers get. I also know that I want to lead with my heart and with love and like do everything with so much compassion and empathy and love, and just try to change things for the better. I try to be insanely honest with you guys and like literally tell you everything. Do you remember when I turned down an opportunity to do my own product collaboration because it was going to be retailed in Target? Yeah, that was literally like I wanted you guys to be a part of that decision. I am happy that it happened the way that it did, but like those are the kinds of things that mean more. Like it means more to me that you guys trust me and you believe in me and you support me than me getting a check, like me getting paid to do a product collaboration. Like you matter more, and I hope you know that. I hope you know that like our connection means more to me than any of that stuff ever could. You gave a little girl from the middle of nowhere in South Carolina this opportunity, and she does not take it lightly, okay? Like, I do not play around when it comes to my besties. Every brand that I talk to, anytime we have a potential collaboration, I'm like, what can we do for the besties? In what way can we give back? Like, how can we make them feel included? And yeah, I'm always looking for an opportunity to do something for you guys because you've given me so much. And speaking of doing things to give back to you guys, I'm currently about to do my final planning meeting for Bestie Club 2. If you guys weren't here last year, we did Bestie Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was an in real life meetup where it was literally like an influencer event for you guys. There were tons of brand activating and there was goodie bags and there was free food, free drinks. There was a DJ. It was the best day ever. And we're running it back again for the fact that we're hitting 2 million. It's gonna happen this summer. So stay tuned because I'm gonna be sharing more info ASAP. Yeah, that is the finished glam, and that is also everything about me that I feel like you could possibly wanna know. You guys, how much I love you and how much I appreciate you, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I promise I will not let you down. I love you, and yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye bestie.
I've known that I'm a lesbian since I was about 4 years old, but I was in denial pretty much my entire life. Like, deep down, I knew that I found women attractive, but I could not admit it out loud to anyone, not even myself. Try and convince myself that I just wanted to be their best friend, or that I wanted to be them. Like, I just wanted to be them. That's why I like them so much. Just do the most out of pocket things, like just the most bizarre things. I would always have crushes on my mom's best friends. I remember my mom had like a falling out with one of her best friends, and she was the one that I fancied the most. Like, I loved her so much. And fun fact about me, my type has been the same ever since I was like a tiny little kid. It is so weird. Such a specific type. It's strange. Like, I don't know anybody else with such a specific niche type like how I do. This tinted sunscreen is absolutely beautiful. SPF 30 from Beauty of Joseon. It's so good. Oh my god. So look what I have to try. 16-year-old me is screaming at this. Walking home from school, I was probably like 10 maybe. And at school, I'd made her like this little card, and like I had money to go to the shop and get like a 10p mix. How many of you guys are going to even know what that is? Like, when I was a kid, you could get like a 2p mix, a 5p mix, a 10p mix, and a 20p mix. The price went up as I got older. It was just like a little paper bag with like some random sweets in, and the shop by my school sold these little mixes. So I would take like maybe 10 or 20p to school every day to get like a 10p mix to walk home with. So I saved all of my little 10p's for 50p. Oh, it's so sad. I feel so sad for me. Like, also backstory, I had a really rough childhood. Like, rough. Like, it was bad. Like, I think if most people had gone through the crap that I've gone through in my life, they would actually be in an insane asylum. Like, sometimes when I tell people about my childhood, they're like, whoa, you're like really normal to say you've gone through all of that. And because my childhood was so rough, like, these women in my life that I loved, like some of my mom's friends, they kind of felt like my safe space. So like, I was deeply in love with this woman that she had a falling out with, and I was just so devastated. So I made her this little envelope out of paper. I drew on it like a little heart and like colored it all in like nice and pretty. I think I would have been between like 8 and 11. Can't remember 100%. I want to say close to 9, 10. That's my guess. I used to save my money. I made her this little envelope, and I would walk home, and I would kind of walk, I wouldn't walk past her house, but I'd kind of walk past the road that her house was on the way home if I took the long way home. So I did that, and I would put this little envelope on her front door with a note telling her like, please be friends with my mom again. I really miss you. I want to see you. What's wrong with me? I'm so weird. Every time I film one of these videos, I remember something else weird that I did as a kid. One story that I will never tell you. No, I can't tell that story. I actually can't. If I hit 1 million followers this year in 2026, I'll tell you the story. But I will not tell the story for anything less than 1 million. Because it's bad. Also, this contour stick, I need you to get it. I need you to get it. It's my favorite. It's the Sachu Contour Stain in the shade Giving Drama. It's so good. It's so blendable. Literally incredible. I would actually go so far as to say that's the best contour I've ever used in my life. I've got 2 things from Painted. I'm so excited. I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. Oh, very okay. This is giving Dior dupe, to be honest. Like the exact same thing. Okay, love that. Because I was in such denial, I didn't go on a date with a woman until I was 17. Like, I know that doesn't really sound late, but keep in mind here, I had never done anything with a girl because you know how I said I've always had a really specific type? I mean specific. Like, unless one of my high school teachers, specifically my German teacher, if she'd have been willing to risk it all for me, I would have fathered 15 children by the time I was 16. But she wasn't. Don't even think she's gay. Like, my type has always been so specific. Like, I never fancied like a child when I was a child, you know what I mean? Like when I was in primary school, I didn't fancy people my age. Like I didn't fancy like kids my age. I always fancied older women, like forever. Like my wife, she had like crushes in nursery, in primary school. Like she has always fancied people her own age, apart from me, because I'm so young. But like she's never had that thing of like fancying a specific age. I know some people do and some people don't, but like I find the fact that I have such a specific type so weird. People say to me, oh, it's mommy issues, that's why you like older women. But it can't be that, because my mom, well, she's just dyed her hair brown, but she's had blonde hair pretty much my entire life, apart from the odd phase of dyeing it dark. My mom is blonde hair, blue eyes, which is like, couldn't be further away from my type. Like Margot Robbie, beautiful woman. Do I fancy her at all? No. Like literally no. I don't think I've ever fancied someone with blonde hair and blue eyes. Like it just couldn't be further from my type. Like my perfect type is petite. I like a woman that's shorter than me. I like small women. If a man was saying this, cancelled. Am I allowed to say it? I'm not sure. But I like a woman to be smaller than me. I like petite women. I like short women. I like women that I can like pick up and be taller than. And I really love when a woman like looks up at me. It's like the cutest thing in the whole world. Like when they like look up at you, I'm like, oh, I love you, I'll do anything for you. It's just so sweet. And I like dark hair. I like women with curly hair. This is really niche. You know when a woman has naturally curly hair, even if she straightens it every day, I can tell. I love a woman with naturally curly hair. I just think there's something, there's a little bit of spice with those women. I don't know, there's just a little extra. And I like brown eyes and I like sharp features. And I also like natural women. Like, do you hear how niche this is? Like, I hear it and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I hear other people explain their type and they'll be like, oh, tall, dark and handsome. And I'm like, that's it? Like, I have a never-ending list of requirements. Like, I don't know how I'm married, to be honest. It's time to use the eyeshadows. I'm so excited. These are really good. If you haven't tried these yet, these are the Lip Lingerie from NYX. 10 out of 10. So my point being with all of this, obviously, when I was in high school, I couldn't really convince 40-year-old women to go out with me, to be honest. So I hadn't so much as kissed a girl until I was like 17. And then I was having a conversation with one of my best friends. I've told this story before. And I used to tell people I was bi because I could not, lesbian to me was the most disgusting word in the entire world. Like, it was so offensive to me. You might as well call me a fat, ugly rat. And he was like, I think you're a lesbian, like, because all you do is talk about women and you say that you're bi, but like, name one man that you fancy. And I was like, I don't, never have, never will, thank God. Which is honestly so funny because I literally wanted to gouge my own eyes out when my friend was like, I think you're a lesbian. I was like, how dare you say that? But honestly, thanks to him and him like pushing me and being like, you can do this, like nobody cares, like I'm pretty sure you're a lesbian, like you can drop the whole bi thing, like get out there and like speak to people, because I was just terrified. Like I've never had like a support system like ever in my life. Like my one best friend that's like basically family, he is kind of like my entire, obviously my wife as well now, but up until like meeting my wife, my best friend was like my entire support system. So like having that like push from someone that like I trusted and like I knew me really well and wanted the best for me, it kind of like pushed me to just take that jump and know that I had someone to confide in and talk to that wasn't going to judge me. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, love you. So if you have someone in your life that you think might be gay, I'm not saying to out them or anything, but I just think it's really important to kind of just let people know around you that it's okay, like it's fine. And that's why I think using like inclusive language with children is so important. Like, you know how people say to like nursery kids, like, oh, have you got a girlfriend, have you got a boyfriend, have you got a crush on any girls? I think it's really important to say like, do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Do you have a crush on any girls or boys? And just make it really like inclusive, and just let them know from like a young age that you're completely fine with it. Because by saying that, you're not going to make a kid gay. Like, if someone had said to me, well, people did say to me all the time, oh, have you got a boyfriend? Do you have a crush on any boys? Blah, blah, blah. People said that to me all the time. I'm still a big fat lesbo. Like, it's not going to change anything. So I literally didn't do zilch with a woman, and I really went like 0 to 100 real quick. Last woman I ever dated was in her mid-30s with a child, a divorcee. I'm 17 years old. I never used to put my age on my Tinder profile, and nobody would ever ask me. Like, it just never came up in conversation, so I was like, well, you don't know won't hurt you. So that's pretty much like my coming out story, and like how I was in denial for so many years. I get quite a few questions on how I met my wife. She actually messaged me on Instagram. I wish it was a better story than that, but it's not. We met on Instagram. She messaged me, we started talking, and then we were like friends for ages. But if you want to hear like the full in-depth story, I'll see if Lou will film like Get Ready With Me or something like that. This is incredible. This is incredible. And oh shit, this is incredible, and this is incredible. Just need to put that out there. You need to try all of these ASAP.
You know what I hate? When a teacher never peeked, so then she decides to bully her students that are prettier than her. Story time. This is what happened with Indy yesterday. So this particular teacher, we went to high school together apparently, and we graduated together. I don't know. Had no idea who she was then, don't know who she is now, and I'm not missing much, okay? Indy goes to school yesterday, and she minded her business, you know, whatever. And I don't let my kids go to school with body parts hanging out, okay? They get dress coded at the door before they even leave. So if anything was inappropriate, I would have caught it. We don't do that. At Indy's high school, you can wear shorts. They're supposed to be like to the knees, but obviously they don't enforce that. So they just say like, as long as like your butt's not hanging out, which hers was not. She was wearing shorts and a sweatshirt. She was completely fine. Walking into school in the morning, and this teacher opens the door for her and holds it open and like made a comment about her shorts, like a haha. And Indy was like, haha, you know, blah, blah, blah. Never asked her to change, nothing like that. So a couple hours later, Indy's sitting in her class and she's minding her own business, teacher's teaching. And that teacher comes into Indy's class with another teacher. And they were like, Indy, come up here. Okay. So Indy was like, okay. So she goes to the front, and this teacher was like, your shorts are see-through. You can't wear those, in front of the entire class. So Indy's doing like a see-through test. She was wearing the Aerie shorts that have like the long spandex liner underneath, and then there was like a lacy part over it. And the lacy was like really flowy, so nothing was like tight or anything. And so she's having her do this like see-through test in front of the entire class. And then proceeds to tell her that she looks like she's wearing lingerie, and then looks at the entire class and was like, don't worry guys, it's just Indy's shorts. And tells them, let this be a lesson to you to not have your butt cheeks hanging out. While Indy's at the front of the class. Like, it has turned into a full-blown class discussion as to why she's wearing that and blah, blah, blah. To the point where other students were chiming in. One of them was like, my shorts are up the crack of my ass. Mine are way worse than hers. What do you mean? And so there was a couple of students that really had Indy's back, but Indy was like so embarrassed at this point. So she was like, okay, I'll change. So these teachers like escort her to like the wardrobe area, and they hand her a pair of men's extra large sweatpants. Mind you, she was like, I'm little, like I can't wear those. They're going to fall down. And she was like, I'll just call my mom. At this point, she's sobbing because she's mad, she's mortified, like they won't leave her alone. So then Indy goes into the bathroom, and they follow her into the bathroom. to just keep on about it. Just keep yapping. Indy's like in the stall. She's already asked me if I could check her out. So I did okay. So I did the checkout for her so she could leave, and just they followed her into the bathroom. So but then at this point she's like, you're dragging, like, please leave me alone. Okay. So then she goes back into a classroom where nobody was in and is followed in there too. Excuse me? Pick someone that doesn't have an insane mom, because who the hell are you? Who are you really playing with right now? Indy comes home, she's sobbing. I'm pissed. So then I write that teacher that message. She never responded back to me. However, she did go to the principal after she got that message from me, because she then found out that I was going to bark back and this just wasn't going to fly. She went to the principal, of course, but never repeated any of the inappropriate things that she did and said to my child. But that's okay, because the principal was amazing. He was so mortified that it was handled that way and that these comments were made. And I was like, yeah, we're not going to like sexualize a child in front of everyone and be like, oh, well, you look like you're wearing lingerie. I told Indy that I didn't know her in high school because she was a weird kid. You know what? You're right. I love weird people, and she was just the wrong type of weird, okay? She got fake titties and she's still insecure.
I am having a crisis and I want to cry. Today is formal, which is usually super exciting and like, yay, but my boyfriend has like, and I hate to say this, borderline fucking ruined it. That might be like super dramatic to say, but like fashion's like sort of my thing, especially when it comes to formal events. Like I'm very good with like formal event fashion, right? I've been like practicing my makeup and my eye looks for like weeks. Like I picked out this stunning dress. It's House of CB. It's black. It has a velvet corset, and then it has like a little panel of pink on it. And I tell my boyfriend like exactly what he needs to wear. I'm just like, it's really simple, just like all black and a black velvet tie, or even like, I'm not even gonna be that picky, not even a black velvet tie, even though that's like what I really want to match. Maybe just like a black plain tie. And I trusted him. I trusted my boyfriend to get a black or plain black tie to match my dress. And he's like also like super excited. He got a haircut today. He got a shave. Like he did his best to look good and stuff. And then I FaceTime him right now and I see his tie, and it's patterned gray. There's gray on the fucking tie and like purple, it looks like on camera. And I'm like, is that your tie? He's like, yeah, it's black. I'm like, no, it's not. It's patterned. It's a patterned tie that looks nothing like my dress and isn't cohesive with my dress whatsoever. So I'm here like, please don't tell me that's what you're wearing. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Mind you, I sent this man pictures of my dress. I didn't even like rely. I didn't even think he was gonna look at the pictures. I just said, get this XYZ tie, and that's it. And we couldn't even do that. And then of course, because I'm the bad guy, he starts getting upset at me, and he's like, this is fine, like it's not even a big deal, it's just a tie, like this is fine, like what are you even mad about? And he's like, my grandma and I, like, we picked this tie out, she said it was fine, like this is a nice tie. I'm like, I don't give a shit if it was a fucking sheen tie. All I asked for was black velvet to match my dress, or just black, okay? Black everything, white top, black pants, black tie, all I needed. Just called me and got more upset about me because I don't even know why. So then he hangs up the call on me and is like, it doesn't even matter, like I don't even know why you're so upset, it's just a tie. And then I explained to him, it's not just a tie, like fashion's my thing, presentation's a thing, like this is my event, like I'm inviting you to my formal, I just wanted us to match, I wanted the outfit to be cohesive. And he's just not understanding it, because like this type of thing just like, oh my god, it just like doesn't really matter to him, and that's okay. And so I'm just like, you know what, I'm getting really upset about this, you're getting really upset about this, like let's just, it's fine, you're not wearing the right thing, there's nothing we can do about it. It's literally, we have to leave in what time is it? It's 3 o'clock, we have to leave in an hour and a half, so what are we gonna do? It's fine. Like, but he keeps going in circles and trying to tell me why it does matter. It matters to me, okay? I literally don't know if anyone's gonna understand this or if I sound fucking crazy, but I'm like genuinely so upset right now. Also, I just like listened to myself and I forgot to add, it's not just a tie, it's his pants. His pants are like stripes, like patterned stripes. I don't know, but it's fine, because in actuality I can edit the photos, okay? It's just the fact that we had Oh my god, I just got mascara on the top of my eye. It's great, awesome. It's the fact that like we had a conversation multiple times about what my dress looks like what to get, and somehow I got ignored. Like, again, that's fine. Just a tie, just some pants. And then he just like keeps going in circles with me over the phone about it. It matters to me, doesn't matter to him. That's fine. We're gonna leave it at that. Cool.
Let's talk about the hinge date that left me in the hospital and left me permanently scarred. I've been really scared to share my story, hoping by sharing this I can help others out. Guys, it's time for me to talk about it. I've been debating on if I wanted to share this. I was so open with my recovery and everything that I went through. I feel like it's only fair to share what happened. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty crazy story and I'm not proud. I learned so many lessons from this. This is post 5 months after the accident. It is still a little painful, but I'm able to work as a nurse. If you didn't know, I'm newly single. I'm just now starting to date again. I recently moved to California on a contract. I was like, you know what? Let me try dating here in California. I matched with this guy. We end up meeting up and honestly, everything is going very well. I'm super new to dating, so I'm pretty excited that I found someone that like I clicked with. We decided we're gonna do like a big group hangout, him and his friends, me and my friends. Go outside after hanging out for a bit. All I see as we're walking up is a motorcycle. Yeah. And this is kind of the part where I get really embarrassed because my whole life I have told my dad, do not get a motorcycle. Told my friends never to get on one. I'm a nurse. I know the leading cause of death is motorcycles, literally. And so I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, okay, my first time, my one time that I'm gonna get on a motorcycle, it will be fine. This gorgeous 6'5" man, that's an actor, that is 100% my type, telling me to get on this motorcycle. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, everything is gonna be fine. I'm just like focused on like, okay, this date is going well. We're gonna go to the next place. It'll be fun. All our friends will meet. Like, it's gonna be fine. I put on the motorcycle jacket. I put on my helmet and I get on the motorcycle. I get on the freaking motorcycle. And trust me, you do not have to tell me and make me feel worse. I know this was stupid. Don't have to tell me, please. Please. I'm already so hard on myself. I already learned from my mistakes. Just a girl. So I get on and honestly, it was super fun for the first like 10 minutes. But we did one thing. We went on the interstate, which I didn't know we were getting on, which kind of scared me. But I was like, wow, this is fun. It's exciting. Well, until it wasn't. I'm not gonna get into too many details, obviously, because there's like a lot of things involved when it comes to insurance, my lawyer. This is the part where it gets pretty crazy. It's very traumatizing, but I'm going to therapy. I'm working through it. I kind of saw it all happen in slow motion. I saw that we were about to get an accident. So I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this is it. All I remember is sliding on the pavement. The first thought I had is, I'm alive. Because I literally thought I was about to... My main thing was like, I hope I stay conscious during this. And thank God I did. I'm so thankful. Because if I was not conscious, I would not be here right now. It's like, it's so traumatic to talk about. And I look back behind me because I'm like, shoot, I'm on the interstate. I'm in the middle of the road. The first thought is like, is there someone behind us? Turn around. Of course, there's someone behind us. It is an 18-wheeler coming at me, honking at me. I use everything in me. I for some reason thought I had like so many broken bones. I just had all over me. I couldn't even see my hands because I was just covered. I used everything in me. I crawled off the road and like rolled down a ditch. The 18-wheeler passed right by. So of course, me being a nurse, my first thought is like, where is he? He's way down the road, laying supine, just like sprawled out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this dude is, I 100% thought he was. I was like, I need to go make sure he isn't. So I run over there with everything I got, limping. I have one shoe on. Don't know where any of my things are. And while I'm doing this, I'm flagging people down to stop and like call 911. And no one's stopping. Everyone is, they just keep going. I'm sitting there, limp arm with like dripping down my arm in the middle of the road. I look like a freaking zombie and no one is stopping except one person. Thank goodness for them. They parked right behind him so like no one would hit him. I run over to my friend and I check his pulse and I feel a heartbeat. So I'm like, thank
God. Like, I shake him a little to wake him up. He wakes up smiling. He's like, hey. I'm like, huh? Like, yeah, what's up? Like, it's like he died and like he was so happy to see me. And I'm like, you got something wrong with your head, don't you? And speaking of heads, I forgot to tell y'all, I was wearing a helmet, but when I fell, I didn't have it on. Pretty much what I think happened is I hit my head, the helmet came off, I hit my head again, so I ended up having like a huge hematoma on the back of my head that hurt a lot. I got so many like MRIs and things like that to make sure I was good, which I was. And after I realized he was okay, everything started hitting me on what happened. I looked down at my hand, this one specifically, and my first thought is like, I definitely cannot work as a nurse like this. I 100% thought it was broken. I had literally no skin on this hand. My elbows were tore up, my knees are super bad and they're really scarred right now. I'm crying, I called my parents, they hop on a flight, I'm in an ambulance, we get taken in separate ambulances, and we are put in the ER room right next to each other. Talk about freaking awkward, and we're like texting each other. He came out with a bunch of fractures. Luckily, nothing on me was broken. With my hand, they thought I had compartment syndrome, which was gonna require surgery. Thank goodness I did not. I was able to be admitted and discharged. Y'all think y'all have had bad first dates? I don't think anything is gonna top this. But honestly, it was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do physically. When you have skin injuries, it is one of the worst injuries you can possibly have because of the pain. My dressing changes take around 2 hours, and it was the most painful thing ever. I was out from work for around a month and a half. And please be nice. My parents didn't even say anything to me mean because they know I messed up. I just am new to dating. I was excited. I did something I should not have done and I learned my lesson. But I think if I can help other people out by sharing my story, maybe others won't be as dumb as I was by trusting someone I don't really know and getting on a motorcycle. I will definitely be reminded of it every single day. It's funny. I'm like, you know what? Dating someone else can't be any worse than this. Yeah, it can be. Tried using Hinge one more time after that. I don't know if it's a California thing or safe to say I deleted the app. So that story is just as crazy as this one. If y'all are single, I hope y'all don't have to go what I've been through when I was in California. Maybe we'll try again in the future, but for now, let's move on.
If you ever hear someone knock on your door at exactly 3:03 a.m., do not check the peephole. This happened when I lived alone during college. I was living on the 3rd floor of a quiet apartment building, mostly old tenants, nothing fancy. The first time this happened, I thought it was a mistake. At exactly 3:03 a.m., I woke up because someone knocked on my door. And I still remember what I heard. I heard 3 slow knocks. Not loud at all, but enough to wake me up. When I woke up, I thought I was still dreaming, so I checked my phone, and that's how I know it was exactly 3:03 a.m. But I was getting so scared because something about the knock just felt wrong. I don't know how to describe it. It was just way too calm. So I get up and I walk towards the door to check the peephole because I needed to know if I was just dreaming or not, because there was no way I was also going to be able to fall back asleep without knowing. So I checked the peephole. No one there, and I opened the door and no one, like empty hallway. So I was like, okay, I was for sure dreaming. So I went back to sleep, and then the next night it happened again. Same time, same 3 knocks. So after checking the phone to see the time, I immediately get up to check the peephole, and there was no one there, but I didn't open the door this time. But I did notice something strange. The hallway light outside of my apartment was off, and it never turns off. Like ever. But I just went to bed and I was like, okay, I have to be dreaming. This is nothing. Only the 3rd night, it happened again. 3:03 a.m., 3 knocks. I didn't move this time. I didn't check, didn't answer, just waited in bed. And then my phone buzzed, and it was a text from the woman who lived across the hallway from me. She wrote, "Did someone knock on your door too?" That's when I knew I wasn't dreaming, and so I got even more concerned. I just replied with, "Yeah, did you see who it was?" She just answered, "I looked through my peephole," and then she didn't say anything else. She just stopped replying, and I went back to sleep. The next morning, I wake up and I notice that there was police on the hallway, and her doors opened. She was gone. No signs she packed, no signs of struggle. And her phone was still on the kitchen counter, still open to the conversation with me. The building management checked the security footage from that night at 3:03 a.m., and they saw no one. No one entered the floor, no one exited the floor, no doors were opened, no one walked down the hallway, and no one approached either door. As soon as I saw this, I knew I needed to move out, so 2 weeks later, I was out of there, and still to this day, I get shivers thinking about what happened to this woman because I have no idea.
Okay guys, let's have a little debrief because I genuinely would love to know what's going on inside the mind of men. Okay, I have a crazy story time. And I genuinely just want to know what's going on inside of the mind of men. Like, I'm genuinely so intrigued. Okay, so basically I meet this guy on a dating app. So already we're kind of like give and take, you know, could go either way. He invites me on a date, and for this date, we're going to his brother and sister-in-law's apartment to go hot tubbing. I was like, okay, so chill, honestly, sounds fun, I'll go. So we get there and it's his brother, his sister-in-law, and then his other brother and his brother's fiance. So we hot tub, we chit chat. I had a pretty good time. Thought it was fun, thought he was cute. It was good. That night, he kisses me. Seems super into me, right? I mean, I was into him too, so it was great. He's super polite. At the end of the night, he's like, okay, I really want to take you on like a real date. I was like, great, I would love to go on one. Okay, so we keep in touch. And then that weekend, he ends up inviting me to a cabin. He's like, some of my family will be there. We can just go up, chill. I'm like, okay, great. Sounds like so much fun. So I go up to this cabin, not knowing that it's genuinely basically like an entire family reunion. So our second date, I meet his parents, a bunch of his, like basically the rest of his siblings, some of his cousins, right? A lot of people. I mean, mind you, it was a little odd, but I was like super into him. So I was like, okay, like, no, this is fun. I was very quiet though, because I didn't know anybody else. And in those kind of situations, I feel like it's just super easy to feel overwhelmed. Eventually though, we like went to the pool, just me and him, we hung out. And then like one of his cousins came, we hung out. I like kind of like cracked my shell. It was so fun. Like I had such a good time, honestly. Like by the end of the night, I was like winning. This is so much fun. We made plans to hang out again that week. So he comes over to my house, we hang out. And then I was actually supposed to go back up to the cabin later that week to go skiing with him. The day before I was supposed to go up to the cabin, I'm sitting at work and I get a text message. This man has broken his back. He was snowboarding. I don't know really what happened, but he broke his back. So he's at the hospital, like, I'm not really sure what's going on. He's not answering, which super valid. He just went through like a traumatic accident. Like, why would he be answering? Anyways, so I give it like 2 days. And he still like hadn't texted me like really at all. So I'm like, okay, let me know if you need anything. Like, let me know if I can help you, anything like that. So the next day he like gets surgery and he texts me. He's like, okay, you should come to the hospital. I'm like, okay, sure. So I drive 30 minutes to get to the hospital, go visit him. I see his mom again. He's like on FaceTime with his friends, like showing me to his friends. Just like very interested. I leave the hospital and basically hear nothing. But I'm like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's just like had surgery. He's on tons of meds. Like, I don't know. So Valentine's Day rolls around. I like still really liked him. So I wanted to see him really bad. And so he's like, okay, come back to the hospital. So on Valentine's Day, I spend my Valentine's Day night at the hospital taking care of this man. And I mean like taking care of him. I washed his hair for him. I washed his upper body for him. He had like a bunch of like stuff left over from his surgery. So I just like washed it off for him, walked him around the hospital. I was out here doing the most. Meanwhile, he is giving me the most mixed signals. Mind you, we are not dating at this point, but the way that I'm acting, like maybe I just shouldn't have been so generous with my time. But like the nurse comes in and the nurse was like, oh, what did you get your girlfriend for Valentine's Day? Because naturally you would assume that I was his girlfriend. He goes, oh, I don't have a girlfriend. Which like, don't get me wrong, we were not dating. But also like, I feel like you could play it off a little bit better. I don't know, just so awkward. But he's still wanting me to like lay in bed with him, like hugging me, kissing me, like rubbing my leg, all the things, right? So that night comes to an end and then he gets out of the hospital. We see each other a couple more times. Like I came over to his house, like help him out. We hung out a couple more times. I met more of his friends. So I've met a lot of people at this point. And on our second date, he had actually invited me to his brother's wedding. So at this point, I'm planning on going to his brother's wedding, which is a 4-hour drive from where I live. Also, this man couldn't drive because he was on tons of like opioids and like pain meds, so he wasn't allowed to drive. So I had to drive the full 4 hours by myself. At this point, he had started being extremely dry with me. I was literally so confused. I was like, do you even want me to come to this wedding? Like, I'm so confused. So I drive the 4 hours, get all ready. I was looking glam. I was looking great. He basically did not communicate with me the entire day of the wedding. Like, nothing. I get to the wedding. He is the only person that I know. Like, I've met his family a couple times, but like, I don't know them that well. I walk into the wedding and he doesn't even literally acknowledge me. So I just like go say hi to his parents, and then I just go like take a seat by myself, because what else am I supposed to do? He like finally comes over and sits by me, but still doesn't really talk to me. He just like talks to his uncle and like other friends that are there, like barely talks to me. Basically the whole wedding, he like completely ignores me. Like he would just disappear. And like, mind you, he was a groomsman, so he had a lot of things to do, but he wouldn't tell me where he was going. He wouldn't like communicate anything with me. So he would just like disappear, and I had no idea where this man was. Literally, I think his friends talked to me like more than he did. Finally gets to like the end of the wedding. He's like, oh my gosh, Tess, you need to meet my grandma. I'm like so confused at this point, because why are you having me meet more people when you don't even seem interested in me? Like, I'm so confused. So I go talk to his grandma. She is such a stud. A gem. I am obsessed with her. We are kindred spirits. I'm probably never gonna see her again, but that's beside the point. I chatted up with his grandma. We had a great conversation. The wedding ends. He walks me out to my car. I'm like, do you want to do something tonight? Like trying to like read his vibe. He's like, no, I'm super tired. Let's do something tomorrow. I'm like, okay, fair. You've been up all day. You're still recovering from this like back injury. So fair. Let's do something tomorrow. He still gives me a hug and a kiss goodnight. He's like, thank you for coming. Like, acts like everything is normal. Right. So the next day, he texts me and he's like, hey, do you want to hang out at 12? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm with my friends. I probably won't be able to until later. And so he's like, okay, well, I have something at that time. I'm like, okay, no worries. Can you do something after that? If not, no worries. Like, we still have the rest of the weekend that we're here. And he's like, no, yeah, I can probably do something later. I'm like, okay, sweet, just let me know. Never heard from him again. What? That's crazy work to me. Like, how are you introducing me to your family, having me come to your brother's wedding, and then you just ghost me? Like, I'm so baffled. I've never experienced anything like that before. I'm like, were you just using me for like the hair wash and the sponge bath in the hospital? Let me know. Because before his accident, he was like obsessed with me, and I was obsessed with him. I'm not gonna like deny that. I don't know what happened after the accident. I just would have appreciated a little bit more communication, because that is the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And mind you, this was like a month ago. No, I'm still not over it. Because what? Anyways, that's my story. That's all. If anybody has any intel, any thoughts on why somebody would do that, like, I genuinely am curious. Like, I'm not even like angry with him. I'm just like confused. Like, he doesn't owe me anything. Like, we weren't dating, but it just would have been nice to have like some communication. I don't know.
ওরা তোর খানদানে ফেরত যাবার পারে না।
আমি আব্বা আমারে বুঝামু।
কি বুঝাইবে তুমি?
হয় না কি? তুমি আমারে বুঝাইতে পারতা। আমারে মারলা। ওসো আমগো বংশে
আজকে এইসব হইতেছে। আব্বা আমি কই যাবো? আব্বা আপনি আমার প্যারা ড্যাডি আব্বা।
এই তুই আমার দাঁড়াবি না, দূরে থাক দূরে থাক।
আমি খাটে ঘুমাচ্ছিলাম, আমার লাফতে মেরে খাটে হালায় ভাইজান লেটে সারে ঘুমাইছে।
হারামজাদা মিছে কথা কস্তুর।
বউ সেবা সুন্দর করে না করতে পারলে জামাই পিটানোর রেওয়াজও আছে। আই তুমি কুস্তি পারো?
না।
জি ভাইজান, ভাবি ফালতু খানদানে। কইলাম আজকে রাতের বাসু ভাই।
তো কি টিপে? কল্লা।
লাগলে হেডাও টিপা দিমু। তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে, হাতটা টিপা দাও।
হয়ে যাইবো।
যা মন চায় তাই করো। এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ?
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
এসে আমি দেই গেলমু কিন্তু কইয়া দিলাম।
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবাভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাইবে। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে
বিষ খাস বিষ বিষ কিনা লইছ
আমি অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়ার লাগে কথা কইলে তোমার সমস্যা কোথায়?
আমার সমস্যা নাই কা
হ্যার বাদে বউ আবার পানি লইছে সেই পানি বিদিছে ফালায়া এমতে করে বউ বারবার পানি আনে আর জামাই বারবার পানি ফালায় দেয়।
আরে হইতাছে মায়া গো আসল ঠিকানা।
তো বাপে ঠিকই কইছে সাজা যদি আর একটা সপ্তাহ আমগুর বাইক থাকে
এই খুশির খবরটা তো আমি আমার বাসায় দিয়ে দিচ্ছি। আমার আব্বা আপনারে ফোন দিয়া কথা কইব।
হইছে তোমার এই বেটা এই তুই তো আমার মান ইজ্জত সব শেষ করে দিছ।
শুধু কি আপনার মান সম্মান আব্বা জান?
কি কইতাছো এগুলো তুমি কইতাছোটা কি? এখনো সময় আছে তোমার আমি স্বামী হিসেবে।
আমি তোমার লগে অনেক খারাপ আচরণ করছি, তুমি আমার কথা রাগ করো না, চলো না বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
আমি যে মারছি এটা যদি ব্যাপারতে জানে মান সম্মান কিছুই থাকবো না, আমি মুখ দেখাবো কেমতে?
আপনাকে পুরো খানদানে মান সম্মান শেষ।
না 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 না
আমরা হইলাম বড় খানদান, আমগুলো গেছে খানদানি রেওয়াজ দেখাইতে। খানদানি কেচা লাগবো মনে হইতেছে।
আপনার মায়ের লগে একটু ক্যাচেল হইছে তো তার জন্য পরে কমুনে আপনার
ক্যাচেল হইছে না।
মন্টু হ্যাঁ মন্টু মন্টু
আমি তো অনাথ হয়ে গেছি গে একেবারে মনে করে আমার বাপে আমারে
এটা কেমন বাট পারি হ্যাঁ তোমার আব্বা না খুব কান্দানি আমারে কইছিল কাশি খাওয়া
আরে বললা সকাল সকাল তুমি আয়া পড়ছো চিল্লা কেমতে
কি হয়েছে হ্যাঁ? আর থেকে অনেক পর দেখে দেখতেছি ফোনের পিছে লাগা রইছো।
বাজান তোরা আর একটা বুদ্ধি দিতেছি।
কি হয়েছে বাবার কি?
তুমি যদি একটা মাস পরে আইতা তাহলে দেখতা আমার আব্বা আনাম খাসিটা পাকে তোমার সামনে রেখা দিত।
খানদান নাকি খানদান গো চিনা লাগে নাকি চোখ বন্ধ করে হারবার পাচ্ছি আয়া পড়ছি।
দরকার আছে দরকার স্যার আমি কি ফোনে কথা কই নাকি? এই এটা খায় কি করতাছো? যাও না নিচে যাও। কি হয়েছে বাজার?
কি হয়েছে এই সব আমি পারুম না, আমার দরকার হলে ঘর। আচ্ছা যা হবার হয়েছে বুঝছো, সারাদিন যে ধকলটা গেছে গা, নিচে ঘুমা।
আইস নামনের বাসুর ভাই আপনি
আপনার ঘরে
তুমি তো আমার পিলা চমকাই দিচ্ছ বাবা।
কি যে কন্যা আব্বা মাত্র তো আসমানের চাঁদ লাগা।
কিন্তু তুমি তো বিয়ার পর দিনই আইয়া হাজির, তো রসনটা একটু চেঞ্জ হইছে আর কি।
Hey guys, let's have a little debrief because I genuinely would love to know what's going on inside the mind of men. Okay, I have a crazy story time. And I genuinely just want to know what's going on inside of the mind of men. Like, I'm genuinely so intrigued. Okay, so basically, I meet this guy on a dating app. So already we're kind of like give and take, you know, could go either way. He invites me on a date, and for this date, we're going to his brother and sister-in-law's apartment to go hot tubbing. I was like, okay, so chill, honestly, sounds fun. I'll go. So we get there, and it's his brother, his sister-in-law, and then his other brother and his brother's fiance. So we hot tub, we chit chat. I had a pretty good time. Thought it was fun, thought he was cute. It was good. That night, he kisses me. Seems super into me, right? I mean, I was into him too, so it was great. He's super polite at the end of the night. He's like, okay, I really want to take you on like a real date. I was like, great. I would love to go on one. Okay, so we keep in touch. And then that weekend, he ends up inviting me to a cabin. He's like, some of my family will be there. We can just go up, chill. I'm like, okay, great. Sounds like so much fun. So I go up to this cabin, not knowing that it's genuinely basically like an entire family reunion. So our second date, I meet his parents, a bunch of his, like basically the rest of his siblings, some of his cousins, right? A lot of people. I mean, mind you, it was a little odd, but I was like super into him. So I was like, okay, like, no, this is fun. I was very quiet though, because I didn't know anybody else. And in those kind of situations, I feel like it's just super easy to feel overwhelmed. Eventually though, we like went to the pool, just me and him, we hung out. And then like one of his cousins came, we hung out. I like kind of like cracked my shell. It was so fun. Like I had such a good time, honestly. Like by the end of the night, I was like winning. This is so much fun. We made plans to hang out again that week. So he comes over to my house, we hang out. And then I was actually supposed to go back up to the cabin later that week to go skiing with him. The day before I was supposed to go up to the cabin, I'm sitting at work and I get a text message. This man has broken his back. He was snowboarding. I don't know really what happened, but he broke his back. So he's at the hospital, like, I'm not really sure what's going on. He's not answering, which super valid. He just went through like a traumatic accident. Like, why would he be answering? Anyways, so I give it like 2 days and he still like hadn't texted me like really at all. So I'm like, okay, let me know if you need anything. Like, let me know if I can help you, anything like that. So the next day he like gets surgery and he texts me. He's like, okay, you should come to the hospital. I'm like, okay, sure. So I drive 30 minutes to get to the hospital, go visit him. I see his mom again. He's like on FaceTime with his friends, like showing me to his friends. Just like very interested. I leave the hospital and basically hear nothing. But I'm like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's just like had surgery. He's on tons of meds. Like, I don't know. So Valentine's Day rolls around. I like still really liked him, so I wanted to see him really bad. And so he's like, "Kate, come back to the hospital." So on Valentine's Day, I spend my Valentine's Day night at the hospital taking care of this man. And I mean like taking care of him. I washed his hair for him. I washed his upper body for him. He had like a bunch of like stuff left over from his surgery, so I just like washed it off for him, walked him around the hospital. I was out here doing the most. Meanwhile, he is giving me the most mixed signals. Mind you, we are not dating at this point, but the way that I'm acting, like maybe I just shouldn't have been so generous with my time. But like the nurse comes in and the nurse was like, "Oh, what did you get your girlfriend for Valentine's Day?" Because naturally you would assume that I was his girlfriend. He goes, "Oh, I don't have a girlfriend." Which like, don't get me wrong, we were not dating. But also like, I feel like you could play it off a little bit better. I don't know, just